Hey guys, welcome back. We will be talking about each and every company that we went over in our company research videos, and we will be listing the pros and cons of each. I will try to list the pros for each company first and then go into the cons of each company. I'll start with the YMCA. So, as we noted, the YMCA offers services that involve the overall community health and particularly youth development. Now, these are very correlated to my core values. So, I listed that as one of the pros for the YMCA. Now, another plus that I noted with the YMCA is that their consumer loyalty is very consistent. People who have been with the company tend to enjoy and continue to operate within the company or invite other clients into the company as well. They are known for great customer service. When I went through reviews and testimonials for the YMCA, there was an overall positive view of the culture. In terms of the work environment, some positives that I saw was that there's a team effort within that community. A lot of people generally work together as a community to service the needs of the clients that come in or the customers that come in. They did offer a variety and a range of services, unlike some of the other companies that I actually have here. Now, their reputation is also long-standing, and they have a reputable company. So those are the pros for the YMCA. For the Department of Correction, the position for the youth group home leader, the Department of Corrections, the pros of this is that it is a government, or you're working for the state. To me, that's important because of the benefits and for some of the security that it provides professionally. In terms of the services, obviously it is in my range of education. So I would be working directly with youth. It is something that I'm passionate about. So to me, that was a positive. There's also a protocol to working with the Department of Corrections that was very stringent. And while some might find that as a con, I actually saw that as a pro. I like to have a lot of structure and an environment where the rules are laid out, and I don't have to do a lot of guesswork in terms of how things go day to day. Moving on to La Petite Academy. Again, we are in my area or range of expertise by dealing with the youth. This particular position was for the lead teacher, where you are going into the environment and giving education. I'm very passionate about this area, giving the students room to grow and showing them the ropes at such a young age. Very passionate about building knowledge in our communities. So that was a pro for me. The services that are offered were also a pro in terms of giving, like I said, education and childcare combined for busy parents, working parents. The consumer loyalty seems to be consistent throughout this particular organization. People go there year after year, and I saw the testimonials were leaned positive in terms of this business. So that shows me that their reputation is good as well. Moving on to Truist. As far as Truist goes, some of the pros there was that there is structural lateral growth and potential for building up in a corporate environment. This is something that professionally I do value. I value the ability to be flexible in terms of being able to have a job that teaches me about finances, but offers me the ability for growth in other areas of their company. I mentioned before the growth factor, being able to be in a financial environment. My background is in business administration is my minor. And I do think the finances tie into some of that business background, which would offer me opportunity to grow that knowledge, to learn more about our fiscal policies within the United States. Very important to me. In terms of customer service, it's a customer service heavy role, and I do excel in that area. In terms of their customer service, they didn't have the best ratings in terms of that, but I love to be the change that I want to see. So again, another pro for the ability to be able to expand in that role. Now, there weren't a ton of services that were offered. There was a range of different products within the monetary realm. But again, I saw it as positive to be able to have different roles within that company. Last but not least, we will talk about the pros of the Bozzuto. Bozzuto was the company that has the residential properties, and they had a range of different residential properties in there. I have worked within this particular career field. A little bit different, but property management, leasing, hotels, customer service, very, very knowledgeable in most of those areas, and could exercise my skills in this particular job. So I did find that as a pro. There's a lot of opportunity for financial growth in this particular field as well. The work culture is more familial. You have a team of people that work side by side with you, and you help others in the community to acquire property or a place to live, which is very important to me. The social reputation of this particular company was good. I saw that they actually do go out in the community, and they have initiatives such as the RISE program. So that was very important. Each one of these jobs, I have to mention, as far as a pro, is that there is opportunity for financial growth. While all of them may not be high paying, I think the lowest paying would probably be La Petite Academy. However, opportunity for growth and movement within that job. So I'd like to sidestep over to the cons, and I'll start with YMCA again. Okay, so the cons with the YMCA. I believe that some of the cons could be that there is some limitation financially and benefit wise. A lot of these jobs start as part-time. So while the pay is not the lowest pay, it's also not the highest, and you're not really going to be offered those benefits that you would look for at some of the other jobs if you are working part-time with them. For the Department of Corrections, there were a few cons. When I was looking through the testimonials and reviews, I noticed an overall negative connotation associated with this particular business, I expected that to an extent, considering that it is a juvenile facility. People come in on a note that's not the best. So if there's a tendency for the work culture, the environment to kind of be preceded by an overall negativity, it actually did make sense to me. It seems to be one of those positions where your heart really has to be in it, because it is a tough job. It's a tough job. The work culture was very stringent and tough to deal with. You're dealing with people with different backgrounds and very oftentimes troubled past, and with criminal records. So there's a danger element to these particular positions. Customer service was not ranked high. I would assume that customer service, being your working relation with the clients, it would be difficult to administer in certain instances. And there's very little you can do outside of the government made rules concerning this particular job. So there's not a lot of wiggle room to be creative. This is very a serious job. So, there's a lot of compartmentalization, a lot of redlining, a lot of red tape involved in this particular job. In terms of La Petite, as I mentioned before, in terms of pay, I do not see this being a sustainable job in terms of finances. It's not a very high paying job. And when I was looking through the average income, teachers in general may have lower pay, and this is like a step below that as well. So was one of my cons. The services offered, pretty standard services. I wouldn't say that's a con. But, there are regulations for this particular position. There's not a lot of flexibility in terms of what you can do outside when it comes to the curriculum and things like that. So I would consider that a con for me as well. Moving on to Truist Bank. So one of the cons that I have to list, financially seemed okay in terms of the pay. As far as the consumer loyalty, it just was lacking. People do not like this bank. A lot of people who were at this bank wanted to move from this bank. And when you have a bank that you truly love, or a financial institution that you are dedicated to, people talk about it, people recommend it. This was not the case with this particular role. So the reputation of it was spotty. There was some concern with security. There was some concern with access and limitation of services, not being able to transfer money to people in outside institutions easily. There was a lack of ease with the overall service. There was also some major concerns with customer service. People felt they were not heard, and they felt that their issues were not addressed, and that customer service was not kind, to say the least. Those were some of my cons for that particular role. And last but not least, the Bozzuto role. So one of the things I noted with this particular role, there was consumer loyalty. You either really, really loved this company, or you really, really didn't like this company. But there were tremendously more people that truly loved it that didn't like it. So I wouldn't say that that was a con. I would say the con for me here would be the particular role doesn't necessarily align with my career path, if that makes sense. There are aspects that do. You're working with people, but I feel like it's one of more of the outliers when it comes to my particular career path. Their services seem good. I didn't have a lot of cons for them, except that it just kind of branches off from where I could see myself growing in a career. Although I would like to see the career and potentially be a part of the career, I just don't know where I would go forward with it and have it align with my calling, so to speak. So that was my major con with Bozzuto. All right. And so, having said that, I would like to just sort of narrow and summarize that. We have discussed the pros and cons of the 5 companies that we did in our company research. I hope you have enjoyed this video, because on the next video, I will be coming to a conclusion of which one of these, based on my pros and cons, is the best fit for me and why I chose that job. So thank you for sticking around for this video. It's a little bit longer, but I will catch you on the next video. Thank you.